Anyways, let's get this started. I really need someone to free Hollywood from the shackles of live action adaptations. They are bound, and nothing will set them free, but someone needs to find a way ASAP. Hello, hi. Welcome back to my channel. Let's discuss. My name is Skylar, and here on this channel, I will be discussing, just random entertainment topics about movies, TVs, general news, the whole shebang. And today we are discussing something that's very near and dear to my heart. My family knows because every time it comes on the TV, they groan and roll their eyes. And they promptly ask me if they can change the channel. So yeah, and that is, it's backwards on camera, but it's fine. You know what this is. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. I'm a Gryffindor. I sure am. And no, I'm not doing it for clout. I took the Pottermore exam and they said, you're Gryffindor. And I said, bet. So yeah, we're talking about Harry Potter, but more specifically, if any of you remember, recently, I think it was like last week, I don't know what day last week, but it was last week, they announced that a Harry Potter series, a Harry Potter live action series is in the works at Warner Bros. For HBO Max. And then 2 hours later, they said, that is false. I don't know where you're getting your information from because that's not us. We're not. What do you mean? But yeah, so it could be happening, could not be happening. It most likely is happening, so we'll see. I mean, why would they not want to do a Harry Potter live action series? That's how you get people to your app. They already had, for a period of time, they had all the movies, but then they got rid of them because they didn't have the rights, so don't know what's up with that. So maybe they will do a series. Today, like I said in the beginning, Hollywood needs to be freed from the shackles of live action adaptations because any new project, 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be a live action adaptation. So today I'm just going to discuss, does Harry Potter need a live action adaptation? We'll see by the end of this video. And as you will hopefully notice, my setup is different because I have a stand now. I've always had a stand, so I don't know why I didn't set it up for my last video, but here we are. It's here. And hopefully my audio will not be jumping all over the place like it was last time because that was a pain in the ass to edit. Fixing my audio, every single little clip. And I don't even know if it's good. I haven't rewatched the video, so it's uploaded, but I haven't watched it back. I mean, I watched it back to edit it, but I haven't looked to see how it came out on YouTube. So if the audio is all over the place, I'm sorry. Hopefully it will not be this time. So anyways, let's get into this because I don't want this to be too long. So first things first, what will this series be about? If they're going to go the route of just adapting the OG series, which I don't think they should do, but if they do, I wonder what they'll even be able to talk about because the films are relatively recent. The last one came out 10 years ago, so it's not like they're from the 80s or something. They're from the early 2000s to the 2010s. We're only in 2021, so it's not that old. So what if they do go the route of just adapting the OG series? What can they talk about that the movies haven't already said? Because the only ones that I think actually warrant an adaptation, a do-over, is Goblet of Fire, Half-Blood Prince, and the last two Deathly Hallows movies. That's it. The other ones perfectly fine as they are. So what are they gonna do? I mean, any book is probably better off as a series because you can go more into depth with the characters, you can explain more plot points that make the overall story make sense. And that was an issue that comes up a couple of times, mainly in the films that I said that could be redone with the Harry Potter series, like Half-Blood Prince. That movie, I like it. Unpopular opinion, I like Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, but they have some glaring issues. Ginny and Harry, they don't fit because the chemistry between Daniel Radcliffe and Bonnie Wright, it's not really there. And then all their scenes together are awkward as heck. That scene where she's like, your shoes are untied. What is that? And then she just awkwardly ties her shoes. And then their first kiss, weak. In the book, it was cute. I haven't read the book in years, but it was cute. I think in the book, it was after some Quidditch match, and Ginny was basically the hero of the match, and they're all celebrating in the common room, and Harry sees her, and he just runs up to her and kisses her in front of everyone, and everyone's like, and he's like, and Ginny's like, it's cute stuff. I don't know why they ruined it in the Half-Blood Prince. And another problem with the Half-Blood Prince is that I think they were trying too hard to add the little high school romance element, and so they sacrificed the main point of the storyline, which was the Horcruxes. And we only got like a couple of them, but there's more in the books, which I get. You're gonna have to omit some. What makes Half-Blood Prince good is that it spends time focusing on Voldemort's backstory. We basically get like a villain origin story, but like it didn't really feel like a villain origin story, the Half-Blood Prince. So yeah, so if they did it like an adaptation of the Half-Blood Prince in the series, you could do more. You could expand more on Voldemort's origin story. You can flesh out Harry and Ginny more, etc., etc. So like, yeah, books are typically better as series, yes, but does this book series need a whole series adaptation when they've already got a successful franchise of films? Like Percy Jackson is getting a new series at Disney Plus, but Percy Jackson, the film series, didn't finish because Fox didn't know what they were doing. It was hot mess. I mean, I like The Lightning Thief. Another unpopular opinion, I like The Lightning Thief. I'm sorry. I think it's tolerable. As an adaptation, it sucks. But as a movie, it's not horrible. That series needs it because they didn't even get to finish. They stopped at the Sea of Monsters, which was horrendous. Percy Jackson and Harry Potter are like one and the same. They're practically the same story, but there are two sides of the same coin. Like what happens when you get a bad film adaptation and what happens when you get a good one. And Percy Jackson got a bad one, so they need a series. But Harry Potter got a nice one, got a good one that's loved by millions. One of the biggest franchises in the world. It doesn't really need a whole new series if you're going to go the OG route. So if they're going to adapt the OG route, that's a mistake. They need to go somewhere else. Find something new, which they probably will do. They didn't release like a plot or anything. They just said it was a Harry Potter adaptation. But I feel like if it wasn't gonna be about the OG series, and they would have said, oh, it's just like a spin-off series or something in the realm of the Wizarding World, but they said Harry Potter, so I don't know. But hopefully they will not go the route of just adapting the OG films, because there's not much they can do differently with the OG films, because the movies have already said everything. It's already done everything. I don't need to see a rehash of the movies in a longer format, you know? So if they didn't, what else could they talk about? Now, when this was announced, a whole bunch of people were saying that they should do the Marauders, which is cool. I think there's a fan movie about the Marauders. I don't know. Maybe not. I'd Google it, but I don't want to. So, yeah, the Marauders could be interesting. I feel like we learn so little about James and Lily, but they're so important to the series. But we spend so little time on them in the movies. I feel like the only Marauders we ever get to spend time with is Remus and Sirius. And then the most out of all of that is Remus. Barely get any time with Sirius. He comes in a movie in Prisoner of Azkaban, and then in the Goblet of Fire, he's like a fire projection thingy, and then he dies in the Order of Phoenix. So you didn't get that much with Sirius. It would be interesting to see the first Visiting War. You know, what was happening, you know, when Dumbledore was like, oh my god, that kid that I let into the school, he's turned into a literal monster. Yikes on my part. If they did do the Marauders series, I would want them to go darker. Keep with the tone of Deathly Hallows, but worse. More miserable. Yeah. Because, you know, James and Lily having a baby, it's supposed to be the most exciting time of their life. But then, you know, they're like, someone's going to try and kill your baby. So they're like, are you for real? And they're like, yeah, go hide. So first year with their baby, supposed to be having a blast, and they're in hiding. How tragic. And then I feel like you could dive into the prophecy more with the Marauders series, because the prophecy it's explained in the Order of Phoenix, but I feel like barely. Dumbledore's like, yeah, you have to kill him or he's gonna kill you, one or the other, pick one, choose your fighter. But I think if you do the Marauders series, you could really go into the prophecy more, and how Harry's only the chosen one because Voldemort, because of Snape. Really, let's go on a Snape tangent. Let's do it. Snape is the reason we're in this mess, okay? He is. She wants to give him a redemption arc, but she won't acknowledge that he's the reason we're in this mess. The only reason Voldemort goes after Harry is because Snape heard like the first half of the prophecy, didn't care to listen to the rest, and he ran to Voldemort and told him everything. So Voldemort was like, bet, I'm gonna go kill this kid. I'm gonna go kill him. And so he goes after Harry, and he, you know, oops. So he goes after Harry, and then we all know what happens. I can't remember the prophecy exactly, but basically, Harry's the chosen one because Voldemort went after him. If Voldemort sat down and ate his food, we wouldn't be in this mess. Or if Snape sat down and ate his food, we really wouldn't be in this mess. But the thing is, Neville could have also been the chosen one because it didn't specify who. It just said a baby born at the end of July. Could have been Neville, could have been Harry, because Neville was born like 2 days before Harry. So it could have been Neville, but for some reason, Voldemort, I think it might have had something to do with what Snape told Voldemort. He went after Harry, and so that's why Harry's the chosen one. The prophecy was very vague, and it wasn't very specific, and it was like Voldemort basically created his own demise, essentially. Yeah. So yeah, I think you could go deeper into the prophecy, explain it more, go into more depth about how things came to be for the OG series, But you could also dive into Harry's parents. We get to know them. We get to see Hogwarts in that era. We get to see, the Marauders map in full. You can get a backstory on how Remus became a werewolf, how they all became animaguses, or animagi? I don't know. Because everyone, how James is a stag, Peter's a rat, Sirius is a dog, Remus is a werewolf, and they all became animaguses, whatever, to chill with Remus when he was going through his werewolf times. So that would be interesting to look at. And then you could see the development of Lily and James's relationship, because at first they hated each other, or at least Lily hated him because he was an idiot jock. But then, Lily changed him. They fell in love. Happily ever after. No, they did not. Now, let's go on. I guess we can go on to the next idea of what they could do if not an adaptation of the OG series or of the Marauder series. I got this from fandom. I watched Screen Junkies, so this idea came from them, and I thought it was really nice. But it's the idea of that they could do other schools. People also might have mentioned this, but this is where I heard it from. But doing other wizarding schools like Ilvermorny in America or North America. I don't know where it is, but it's in North America. But that would be interesting. I would like to see more. I watched a video from Movie Flame on the story of Ilvermorny, how it came to be, and it's honestly pretty dark. It's something just hit my window, but it's honestly pretty it's pretty dark. It's pretty sad. Let's go into it. Let's talk about it, because it would be nice. There's a school in Brazil. There's a school in Africa. There's a school in Japan. Let's talk about them. It could be like, I have to keep comparing these two series. They're practically one and the same. But you know how Percy Jackson in the spin-off series, Heroes of Olympus, and how in that book we get the Roman camp? That was great. It's fun to see the Roman camp. Son of Neptune, which is when we get to see the Roman camp in Heroes of Olympus, the best book. I have to say it. It's the best book in that series. Ugh. Stellar. Maybe I'll make a video on this series because that series is good. But anyways, we could dive into more schools. Hell, we could dive into Beauxbatons and Durmstrang. I kind of want to do Beauxbatons because in the Goblet of Fire it made it seem like it was an all-girls school, but I'm pretty sure it's co-ed, and it's for like anyone from that region near France. Let's do Beauxbatons. Anything. Show me some other places. Let's leave Hogwarts behind for now. She's been explored. We know about her. Let's talk about some other schools. It'd be interesting, because obviously there are wizards all over the world. So let's go visit. Let's go say hi. Let's learn about them. Let's do it. I support that idea. So yeah, those are my two ideas. Not mine, but the two ideas that I've heard that I think would be good for this series if they chose to do it and they don't go the route of adapting the OG series. Either talk about the Marauders era or go find some other school and have a good time. Have a good time. Now here's what they need to do differently, regardless. And basically I just mean casting. What they need to do casting-wise for this entire series, whether it's about the OG series, Marauders, or a new school. No offense, but they need to leave white people at the door. I'm sorry. Y'all have had, listen to me. Can we get some dark-skinned women, dark-skinned men? Can we get some Asian men, Asian women? Can we get some Latina, Hispanic, anyone, natives, please, they're out there. Can we get some disabled actors? I know there are a lot of autistic actors that want a shot? Can we get some deaf actors? Anything. Variety. Please. Can we get some non-binary characters? We obviously we can cast white people. I'm just joking. But like, can we get more non-white people? Please. Can we get some diversity? Can we get some people of color? Please. They're out there. They exist. We exist. Cast us. Please. Because in the OG series, who do we have? We have Cho Chang. She really just put together like 2 Asian last names and said, that's a name. And I'm like, what? The poor girl. And then who else do we have? Dean Thomas has like 4 lines in all 8 movies. Oh my God. Imagine how tired we are. We're tired. We're exhausted. So please give me something new. And a potential issue with doing this series, the main and biggest one, and the one we cannot get around, is JK. She's transphobic. And we can't get around JK because this is her stuff. This is her IP. She created the Wizarding World. Warner Bros. Can't do anything and just yeet her to the side because that's literally illegal. She's gonna get money from this. She's gonna get credit for it. She might be involved in the production because this is her IP. They can't just take her thing and do what they want. That's illegal. It's copyright. They'll literally get their asses sued. So unfortunately, JK has to be tied to the series in some manner, which is unfortunate because she's been very transphobic, and that's putting a very bad stain on the Wizarding World. No one wants to watch content that is going to benefit a transphobic person. No one wants to, but we have to because she created it. What can we do? Nothing. And then another issue is just, the rep. Harry Potter's getting a bad rep right now, mostly because of JK, but also because of the Fantastic Beasts series, which is not going so well. It's not doing too good. I like the first one, but the second one it's not horrible. It's not god-awful. It's not Sea of Monsters god-awful, but it's not great. That movie is, what, an hour and 40 minutes? Maybe it's 2 hours. I don't know how long it is, but it's a long-ass movie of nothing but exposition. The climax is the revelation of more exposition. Like, first we have Lita being like, Corvus Lestrange is dead, I killed him. That's our first little, ooh, and that's just exposition. And then we have Grindelwald and his little cemetery thing, his little crypt, and he's just going on a tangent about why the world deserves to be murdered. That's our next little, ooh. And then he starts burning shit, and that's, I guess, the main climax is when he starts sending fire everywhere, but that's not really anything. He's just killing people, other wizards, but it's not like going into Paris. It's not like he's trying to burn down Paris. He's just trying to, well, he was about to burn down Paris, but it's all just taking place in this little cemetery, and all we see is the heroes trying to distinguish? No, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with a D. They just want to kill the flames. That's what they're trying to do. That's that climax. So that movie's nothing but exposition. So it's got issues. I could do a video on it, but it's got issues. So yeah, the Fantastic Beasts is kind of giving Harry Potter a bad rep. Everyone thinks that it's going downhill now. So like, why do we want to keep seeing content? If you can't get your movie spin-off series right, what makes us think you can get a TV series done right? Like, what? A bit worrisome. But now let's go on to a more general thing, which is my problem with live action series in general. Not live action adaptations. My problem with live action adaptations in general is the fact that they exist. Hollywood needs to be freed. Hollywood is bound by their hands, feet, neck, everything to do live action adaptations. And it's like, when are we going to see something new? When are you going to create something fresh from your head? You sat down one day with a pen and paper and you said, this is my idea for a new movie, for a new TV show. This is my idea. When are you going to get back to that, Hollywood? Why do you keep going to the shelves of a Barnes & Noble and finding the nearest book you can and saying, we're going to adapt this? Or going back to a series that has already been made and you said, we're going to redo it. We have Winx that just came out. You have now Harry Potter. Oh my God, they said they're going to adapt The Great Gatsby. Why? Why? Is it so freshmen in high school can watch this instead of reading the assigned readings? Is that why we're doing this? I didn't even read The Great Gatsby in high school. I read To Kill a Mockingbird and I hated it. Why? Why is Hollywood so hell-bent on doing live action adaptations every 5 minutes? I know there are actually a lot of new and fresh stories that are coming out like every day, but there's also, for every new and original idea comes 2 live action adaptations. And Hollywood will not stop. I just said that, so Hollywood will not stop. I remember I wrote an article for my student newspaper org, and I was talking about how Disney has a problem with live action adaptations, and one of my prime examples was The Lion King. And then it was released like 2 days later? News that Disney would be adapting Lion King 2, or they would just be making a sequel to the live action Lion King. That movie wasn't good. I have not seen it to this day. Beyonce should be my sole reason for seeing it, but I haven't seen it, and I don't really want to. I don't want to. So yeah, my problem with live action adaptations is just that they exist, and it's getting tiring because they're very hit or miss. They're either good or they're bad. And it's like, enough's enough. So anyways, does Harry Potter, does it need a live action series? My answer, it's not that it needs it, but if it gets it, it wouldn't be horrible. It's not the end be all. Like if Harry Potter gets a live action series, it's not going to ruin Hollywood. It doesn't need one, but it's nice to have one. In my opinion, the way you keep a franchise alive is every now and then you drop a little something that expands the world, that makes it bigger. So, fans have new things to go to and new things to look at, but don't do it too much. There is a such thing as too much. Because my thing, Disney in December, they announced their slate for everything new that's coming in the next 2 to 3 years, and there was a lot of Star Wars on there, a lot, and that's including the new trilogy that they're gonna make coming out in 2022ish. Yeah, I fear. I mean, Star Wars fans seem to be excited. They seem to be gang. I mean, I'm a casual fan of Star Wars, but I'm a little concerned that all of the Star Wars is going to be too much Star Wars, you know? Yeah, so that's what I mean by it's too much. You can give your fans a little bit too much, and then it just becomes you kind of ruin the novelty of it by just completely oversaturating everything, oversaturating the franchise and making too much. There is too much of a good thing that does exist. So it's a balance. It's a balance of knowing when to give your fans new content and knowing when to let them live and have what they have. Live off of what we have. So yeah, Harry Potter doesn't need a live action series, but it wouldn't be awful to have one. It'd be nice if they can do something new with it. If they go the OG series route, we're gonna have problems. But if they go Marauders or a new school, why not? Let's do it. Let's go. I'll probably stream regardless, but yeah, those are my thoughts on the Harry Potter live action series news. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know, but it could. So yes, thank you for watching. Hopefully this video is shorter than the last one. Right now it's 35 minutes. I will be cutting it. I want to make this 20-ish minutes. So let's hope and pray that I can cut off 15 minutes of this. So yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Please do. because it would let me know that I'm doing something good. It would let me know that this isn't a trash channel. If it is a trash channel, I'm just gonna have to delete my existence. I'm gonna have to delete my whole Gmail account. So please, like and subscribe. Leave a comment about what you think about the Harry Potter live action series. Do you think it needs one? Will you be streaming? That's the question. So I'm gonna get out of here.